Okay, guys, we're going to go over the creation timeline. We're going to go over prophecy years and the Giza pyramid. You can probably see from the title of this message, that's what we're talking about. We have notes here. As I always say, it's going to be difficult for you to follow all this unless you have all these notes. This is amazing. Guys, I've been working on this for years. I'm going to put all the information I've been working on and studying that I've finally accumulated into one message so that we have this. This is going to be amazing. You're going to see that we have the time, people, the exact year. This year is year from Adam is year 6106, okay? I'm going to go over with you the prophecy, the significant years from prophecy, and we're going to have some other things. I encourage you to watch Cyrus Decree. We just had Trump announce the U.S. Embassy moving. This came the day after Cyrus's decree. Amazing. Fulfilling perfectly. So I strongly encourage you to get Enoch's calendar. It's the right calendar. I'm doing this on, I think, the second or third day of Hanukkah, which is dedication. So we're rebuilding the temple. One of the ways you rebuild the temple is find historically, prophetically, the timetable that happened in the past, which will tell us what will happen in the future. Now, from this, we're also going to reference the Pyramid of Giza. Now, you may not know this, but the Pyramid of Giza has score marks on the passages. The score marks, once they're calculated and determined, can actually tell you years. So that's one of the confirmations of the timetable I'm giving you is actually the Pyramid of Giza. Yes, that's correct. So let's get into it. What I'm going to do is, bear with me, guys. I'm going to take the camera. I'll move it over here. Hopefully with the sunlight and everything else, we'll be able to see the notes, and let's get going. So I'm going to move the camera, and let's see, if we can get everything. Sorry, guys, I don't have a pause button on this camera, so normally I would just try to set this up for you, but let's get everything here. See how we're doing. Okay, that looks pretty good. Looks like we got it. You know, you can see a few things here. The first thing I'm going to kind of mention to you, when we look at the Protestant Reformation happened in 1517, this gives us significant dates. 1917, 1947, 1967, 1997, 2017. We're going to get into that in a minute. Now, for most of you watching this, one of the things you're probably curious about, which I have in the title, is the Pyramid of Giza. The Pyramid of Giza has some passages. The descending passages has these dates. 2141, this BC. This is actually Abraham's year of birth. It also has on the descending passage 2152. This is the Reformation. Okay, that's 1521, AD. Then there's an ascending passage which has year 1453 BC, which is the Exodus. Okay. What I'm going to try to do, guys, I'm going to try to show you this, this file on my tablet. Okay, bear with me. I'm sorry, guys. This is stuff I normally will pause, and then what I would do is just show you. Okay, let's see. Let me get this file here. Okay, here it is. Okay, now hoping... Can you see that? Okay. The sun is too bright. Hold on. Let's try and get this in. Can you see that? Okay, here it is. Here it is, guys. You know, I encourage you to just get this. I apologize for not very high tech here, but you can see this ascending passage. This point right here is 1453 BC. This is the descending passage going down, and there's a score mark right here, which is 2141 BC. So this is the Exodus, Abraham's birth, and down here we have 1521, which is the Protestant Reformation. We're going to see all these things. I encourage you to just get this. I'll make a link of this file so you can see it. That way you can see where I've come up with these dates. I'm using this, guys, as confirmation to the timetable I'm giving you, okay? So, again, let's get to our notes. And, okay, we're going to line up again. And, all right, now, when you go to determine the timetable in the scriptures for the
precise year that we're in now, what you have to do is you have to start from Adam. You start from Adam and you start adding the years, and then again, I'm going to make this available to you, these 3 pages in one PDF file, so you can see all this. It's a little challenging to do a video. I'm just trying to do a quick video, guys. So this is Adam to Noah. This is Noah to Abraham. And then there's another page with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, with that being said, there's years that are marked out, and then in the scriptures, there's years that determine actually how we can calculate the present time. Now, what you first do, like I said, you start with Adam. In this here, when you get this file, you have 2 timelines. One is creation. What that means is we start counting from Adam to the present year. Like I said, the present year is 6,106. Now, we also use BC AD, and obviously it's 2017 AD, and so we have that here on the right. So what we're trying to do is, once we can calculate to the Babylonian captivity in Nebuchadnezzar was 586 BC, and we know everything else. So if we can find that, we can find everything else. All right, so let's do it. Okay, we start with Adam, and we have here Enoch's translated, we have Noah's birth, we have the flood, and we get to the year Abraham is born. Year Abraham is born from Adam is 1946. Okay, that's 2142 BC. Okay, and again, the Giza pyramid agrees with that. They have it as 2141, but that's just within a year. That's amazing. The pyramid of Giza and the timetable I'm giving you agree on the same thing. Okay, so once we know that, God made a covenant with Abraham and when he was 75 years old. So from creation, from Adam, that's year 2021. That's a significant year. I'm not going to get into it now. If you know the King's timetable, you know what that means. But I'm just going to keep going here. Then what you do is you turn to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob. And then Jacob goes into Egypt when he's 130 years old. This is our critical date. Because from that, God's covenant with Abraham, and I have all these scriptures here too. Abraham will be in bondage, a stranger in Egypt for 400 years. So once you know the year Jacob went into Egypt, you count 400 years. That brings you to the Exodus. Okay? Once you have the Exodus, then you know that Solomon's temple is 480 years from the Exodus. Now what happened is Solomon reigned 4 years. In the 4th year, he started to build a temple. All right? So count 480 years. Then you subtract 4 years. Okay? And so on the BC, this temple is built in 972 BC. Okay, now, this is the major thing. The reason you can do all of this is because of Ezekiel chapter 4. Now, in Ezekiel chapter 4, Ezekiel lies on one side 390 days. And he lies on the other side 40 days. And he says, the 40 days are for Judah. And these are 40 years. The 390 days are for Israel for 390 years. Now, the King David reigned 40 years. So that relates to King David. So you don't count those 40 years, but then you count the 30 years. Because what happened is when Solomon went apostate, God divided the kingdom into the 10 northern tribes, Israel, and the Judah. Okay? Now, what happened, what you do is you don't count those 40 years. Because you're counting 390 years because the kingdom was divided. You're counting those 390 years for Israel. Now, when you count those 390 years, that's going to bring you to the Babylonian captivity. Amazing. Okay? Now, we're going to see the significance. Sometimes what you do is you add the 390 and the 40, which is 430. Okay? And you can see that here. This is also referenced in Exodus and Galatians. But the key to this whole thing I'm showing you is these 390 years. You count that from when Solomon built the temple, brings you Babylonian captivity. Once you know that, you got 586 BC, which we know in the historical record. Bam. Now we have all the BC AD correct years. Okay? So, then we have Cyrus's decree, which is 70 years after the Babylonian captivity. 586 minus 70 is 516 BC, which is 3,572 years from Adam. Okay, we got the Maccabean revolt, which we know is 168 BC, and then we come to Christ, which is 4,088 years from Adam. Okay, then we have Jerusalem is destroyed. You can see the 70s here. We got Cyrus Decree 70 AD, and we're going to also see where it's significant in our day. Okay, so then what we have is, let's go over, that's the Giza pyramid I showed you. Okay, this is the timetable I've showed you. Now here, all these years, if you look up these years, I showed you the 400. I showed you the 430. Now, also in Acts 13:20, it talks about 450 years, okay? I showed you the 480. Now, if you add 430 plus 70, you can add that here from David to Cyrus's decree is 500 years, okay? It's also significant in our day. Okay, so we saw the 400 years, we saw the 430, but now what we do is, if you add those years, and we start at the Protestant Reformation. Again, the Protestant Reformation is when Martin Luther put the 95 things on the board of the Catholic Church, right? We even saw that in the Giza Pyramid, 1521, but we have the accurate date of 1517. Now, if we add those years to 1517, we come to significant dates. All these significant dates come within a certain time period, the end of October, early December. Amazing. Okay, let's talk about the first one. 1517 plus 400 is 1917. All right, 1917, Balfour Declaration. That was on November 2nd, 1917. Okay, sorry for the lighting here, guys. But the best thing to do is, you can't see this, please get this file. Okay, let's keep going. 1517 plus 430, 1947. All right, now, what's significant then? Again, we go over the prophecy I just explained to you, but we have the UN resolution to provide a land for the Jewish state. This was on November, is it November 8th? No, this is November, sorry for the typo, I'll fix this, guys. I believe it's November 29th, 1947, is the UN resolution to provide for a Jewish state. It wasn't even the land of Israel yet, okay? But that's a significant date, and then we know they are formed in the next year, okay? So that's 430 years from the Protestant Reformation, 1947. 1947, we'll see, is our critical year, critical date. Okay, let's keep going. Then we add 450 from 1517, 1967. Now, you know 1967, you have the Six-Day War. There was also a UN resolution to give Jerusalem back to Jordan. This was on November 22nd, 1967. You may not be familiar with this, but again, all these come in this time period. November, okay? Then let's go 1517 plus 480 years. Again, we know Solomon built the temple, but we have a future fulfillment of 1997. What is that? 1997 is the fig tree generation, guys. The 144,000 must be born on 1997 or older. Okay? Why? Because the priest must be 20 years or older. So they're the fig tree generation. The significance of that year is that's the year that they must be born. When you see the fig tree generation, all these things must come to pass. Okay? So they're born. They're here on the earth. All right? Then we come to 1517 plus 500. Now again, the 500 is 430 plus 70. Okay? And that's our present year, 2017. Okay, and this is what we're saying, 390, Israel, plus 40, Judah, plus 70. Okay, just like it happened in the past, it's also happened in the future. And what we have is 500 years from Martin Luther brings us to the Cyrus Decree. This is what I just told you. Please watch the other video, Cyrus Decree. You know, Trump is actually doing this. When he changed the U.S. Embassy, it's now going to change everything in Jerusalem for them to build a temple. All right, so we got Cyrus' decree on December 5th, 2017. On December 6th was Trump changing the U.S. Embassy. All right, it was also, as we mentioned, 70 A.D. Rome destroys the second temple. So this is why 70 years. So 70 years from 1947 brings us to 2017 in Cyrus's decree. We already went over that. So guys, there we have it. Please get this. I'm going to try and get this in the light the best I can. One more time as we conclude here. There we go. Okay, so again, just to conclude, we have the years of creation. We have the AD BC, the precise years. The other thing I want to mention is in the Strongs, I asked the Lord for confirmations on all this. I got several things. The Giza pyramid. Another one was the year. So the present year from creation is 6,106. Now the Jews have now 5,778. Okay, but it's 6,106. Now the interesting thing about this number is if you look up the Strong's Concordance in the Hebrew, this number means bone, or it means in the King James uses this word self-same or same day. Okay, now if you look up this word, actually all of these critical people and dates come up. You have Adam, you have Noah, you have the flood, you have Abraham being born, you have Jacob, you have the Exodus, you have King David. The first temple isn't there, but the Babylonian captivity and Nebuchadnezzar. All these events are related to either the word bone or self-same day. Amazing. So to me, that's just confirmation that all of this is accurate. It is, in fact, the year 6106. Okay? We see that through the Giza pyramid, and guys, we have all these critical years. Guys, we're living in a schedule. This thing is a schedule. It's a timetable. We go from the Protestant Reformation when Martin Luther went against Mystery Babylon, and he said, you guys are the Antichrist, man. You're wicked. So, guys, thanks for watching. I want to do just a quick video on this, and please get these notes. Please get the file I showed you, and then the other things here. I'll also have links in the description field for some of the videos and things I've mentioned here. So guys, thanks for watching. Watch and pray that you be counted worthy, escape all these things in Yeshua's name. Amen.